Hello students, today we study the disorders of nervous system. Actually there are number of different types of disorders related with the health of an individual, and these disorders are psychological disorders, and that are commonly known as mental disorders. These disorders affects the mood, thinking or behavior of an individual, and it affects the multiple areas of life and creates distress for the person suffering from it. Such major psychological disorders are intellectual disability, autism, autism spectrum disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety disorder, ADHD, that means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and stress related disorder. Then, out of this disorder, there are also two diseases that we are going to study. That is, one is the Parkinson disease. See in the picture, the person affects from the Parkinson's. It shows different characteristics such as stooped posture, त्याच्यानंतर masked face, rigidity in the back, forward tilt of trunk, then flexed elbows and wrist, and these are trimmers, hand trimmers, and there are hand trimmers also, the leg trimmers. Then also slightly flexed hips and knees, and due to which there is a difficulty. These are actually symptoms that studied in the or observing in the picture. These symptoms like tremor, stiffness, difficulty in walking, balancing and कोऑर्डिनेशन, म्हणजे अशा पद्धतीनं त्या पर्सनमध्ये हळूहळू हे सिम्पटम्स वाढत जातात. It gradually over the years, develops over the years. Then next one, that is the Alzheimer's disease. Again see in the picture, there is the comparison between the brain of without disease and brain with Alzheimer's disease. There is a structurally difference, and it occurs during increase in the age. That means it is the common form of dementia. It increases, or the incident increases with the increasing age, showing loss of cognitive functioning. तर हे ठराविक फंक्शन्स आहेत, थिंकिंग, रिमेंबरिंग, reasoning and behavioral abilities that interferes with daily life and activities. There is much more effect on daily activities of life. It occurs due to loss of cholinergic neurons of central nervous system that accumulates the amyloid proteins. In the brain and spinal cord, especially in the brain, there is accumulation of amyloid proteins, and so the brain looks like the Alzheimer's person. No cure for Alzheimer's, but treatments slows down the progress of the disease, and it may improve the quality of life. In this way, we completed total nervous control. But related with these, there is another part, that is the chemical coordination. Actually, the total part of chemical coordination is related with the pituitary gland. But before we are going to study in detail the structure of pituitary gland, first we study the chemical signals and types of the chemicals. In the cells and organisms, or the cells and organisms communicate with each other with the or through the chemical signals. There are four types of chemical signals. First one is the autocrine, that means the cells releases secretions to stimulate itself. Next one is the paracrine, that cells releases secretion to stimulate neighboring cells. Then endocrine signal or chemical, that means the cells releases secretion to stimulate distant cell. And next one is the pheromones, organ releases secretion to stimulate other organism. In this way there is the different types of chemical signals. But these chemicals are in the form of hormones, and there is different types of natures of these hormones that we are study in brief. Amines, for example thyroxine hormone. Peptide hormones, for example ADH, oxytocin, gonadotropin hormone or gonadotropin releasing hormone. Protein hormones such as insulin, glucagon, thyroid stimulating hormone, luteotrophic hormone, growth hormone, and relaxin. Steroid hormones are aldosterone, testosterone, and estrogen. Fatty acid derivatives are in the form of prostaglandins and gases like nitric oxide. These are the different hormones which are formed in the chemical form. Then actually we study the endocrine system. That endocrine system controls the body activities by hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers secreted by the ductless glands. That ductless glands are nothing but the endocrine gland, and released these hormones or hormones into the blood, carried by blood, and acts on the target organ, and it is stimulated to carry out specific processes or specific functions. Before going to study in detail the glands, endocrine systems or glands or function of hormone, first see the properties of hormones. In short, it has low molecular weight and soluble in water and blood. Chemical messengers acts as regulators. They are metabolized after their functions, cannot be reused. They are regulated by positive as well as negative feedback mechanism, and hypersecretion or hyposecretion leads to various diseases. That properties are important and again shows mechanism of hormone action. Actually, that mechanism is due to the characteristics of the hormones. These are released in very minute quantities and produce their effects on target organs by binding to hormone receptors. And that hormone receptors may be on the cell membrane, that is the membrane receptors, or intracellular receptors, that we are going to study with the help of diagram. And this hormone receptor complex, if formed, it leads to biochemical changes. Thus, see in the diagram, first is the mode of hormone action through the membrane receptor. See in the diagram, there is the membrane receptor. For example, that receptor organ is the ovarian cell, and that hormones are in the form of catecholamines, peptide and polypeptide hormones which are not lipid soluble and they cannot enter the target organ or target cell through the plasma membrane. These non-steroid water-soluble hormones interact with the surface receptors which are present on the surface of the membrane and initiate metabolic activities. Molecules of amino acids derivatives, peptide hormones bind to specific receptor present on the plasma membrane. The hormone receptor complex causes release of enzyme and the specific enzyme is there, that is the adenylate cyclase from the receptor side, and that adenylate cyclase or this enzyme forms cyclic adenosine monophosphate along with the calcium ions from ATP. This cyclic AMP activates enzymatic action and the hormone acts as the first messenger, that is the first forms the first messenger, and then cyclic AMP is the second messenger. There are also some other second messengers like calcium ions or CGMP and inorganic phosphate. Then we continue the second type, that is the hormone mechanism of mode of hormone action through intracellular receptors. Again, see in the diagram, steroid and thyroid hormones are lipid soluble and pass through the plasma membrane and forms the hormone receptor complex. See in the diagram. There is formation of the hormone receptor complex, for example uterine wall, and from the uterine wall hormone estrogen enters into the nucleus where it binds to a specific receptor hormone complex or site of the DNA, and it is activated gene transcribes messenger RNA into or synthesis directs into protein synthesis and enzymes in the cytoplasm, and the action of lipid soluble hormone is slower but long lasting. तर अशा पद्धतीनं दोन मेकॅनिझम आपण कंप्लीट केलेले आहेत, मोड ऑफ हॉर्मोन ॲक्शन थ्रू इंट्रासेल्युलर रिसेप्टर अँड मोड ऑफ हॉर्मोन ॲक्शन थ्रू द membrane receptors. Then next we continue major endocrine glands. In our body there are different endocrine glands and all these glands are related with the hypothalamus. That hypothalamus is the part of diencephalon of the forebrain. It is ectodermal in origin and located at the floor of diencephalon. It maintains homeostasis and also controls the activity of pituitary gland. All these hormones are peptide hormones and secreted by neurosecretory cells. Therefore, these are called as neurohormones like antidiuretic hormone as well as oxytocin. So we study one by one all these hormones, but before going in study in detail the hormones, hypothalamus secretes a series of hormones, releasing hormones such as adrenocorticotropin releasing hormone, thyrotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, prolactin inhibiting hormone, somatostatin, somatotropin, gastrin releasing peptides GRP, as well as the GIP gastric inhibitory polypeptides that are secreted by the hypothalamus. Thus these are both nervous as well as hormonal relation or endocrine relation. Therefore neurohormones or neuroendocrine रेफरन्स असंही आपण म्हणू शकतो. ते आपल्याला पहिल्यांदा पिट्युटरी ग्लँड, दॅट इज कॉमनली नोन ॲज द हायपोफायसिस. Pituitary gland is also known as the hypophysis gland. It shows external structure of the pituitary gland. Though it is smallest gland, it is pea-shaped, reddish gray colored, but it is known as the master endocrine gland because it controls all the endocrine system. It is located below the hypothalamus and attached by infundibulum or hypophyseal stalk. Actually, it is present in a sphenoid cavity or sphenoid bone by forming a depression in that bone, and that depression or cavity is known as the sella turcica. Pituitary gland is dually in origin, that means it is ectodermal as well as endodermal in origin, and it is very small of 0.6 gram in weight. It is average weight. So we study the morphological structure of the pituitary gland. See in the diagram, the pituitary gland shows different parts. Actually, it is divided into, morphologically, it is divided into two lobes. One is anterior lobe, or it is known as adenohypophysis. It is further divided into three parts: pars distalis, pars tuberalis and pars intermedia. त्याच्यानंतर दुसरा लोब जो आहे, इट इज नोन ॲज द पोस्टेरियर लोब और न्यूरोहायपोफायसिस. It is again divided into three parts: median eminence, then pars nervosa and infundibulum. डायग्रॅमॅटिकली आपल्याला हे सगळे पार्ट्स स्टडी करून झाल्यानंतर त्याचे हार्मोन स्टडी करायचे किंवा स्ट्रक्चर बघायचं आहे. Anterior lobe is the largest lobe of pituitary, and it is actually the outgrowth from the roof of buccal cavity. It is commonly called as a Ratkes pouch. It is highly cellular and vascular part and consists of secretory cells such as acidophils, basophils and chromatophores. It is that anterior lobe or adenohypophysis made up of three parts: pars distalis, pars intermedia and pars tuberalis. Pars distalis is the largest and vascular part, contains secretory cells connected to the hypothalamus by hypophyseal portal system. Pars tuberalis is the tubular around the infundibulum as collar and present below the hypothalamus. And pars intermedia is present between pars distalis and pars nervosa. That means it is the between anterior and posterior lobes of the pituitary. It is poorly developed in man. In children, it is present as a cleft, and in adult, it is present as a cystic space. Then posterior lobe, or it is known as the neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis is attached to the hypothalamus by infundibulum, and it consists of median eminence, infundibulum and pars nervosa. That median eminence is a swollen part of the hypothalamus where infundibulum is attached. Infundibulum is a stalk-like structure by which hypothalamus consists of an axon fibers of neurosecretory cells of hypothalamus. And pars nervosa, third part, it is the lower and largest part. Posterior lobe contains axons in between supporting cells called pituocytes. That cells are important. Axonic fibers ends in knobs called herring bodies, and these releases neurosecretory or neurohormones that are oxytocin and vasopressin. Then we are going to study in detail one by one the hormones of adenohypophysis. There may be question on hormones secreted by the adenohypophysis or anterior lobe of the pituitary for 4 marks long answer question. And also on this point there are number of one sentence 1 mark, 2 mark or 3 mark questions. That is important point. First hormone is somatotropin, or it is also known as STH or growth hormone. It affects on general growth of the body and stimulates development of tissues, bones and muscles. Also controls the protein synthesis and cell division and controls the general metabolism of body. कुठल्याही हार्मोनचं सिक्रिशन जास्त झालं तरी डिसऑर्डर फॉर्म होते, कमी झालं तरी पण डिसऑर्डर आपल्या शरीरामध्ये होते. Thus there is the hyposecretion or hypersecretion of this hormone. For example, in children, if the somatotropic hormone is in less quantity, it shows the stunted physical growth, that is called as pituitary dwarf, or it is also known as Migrate. In adults, it shows the Siemens disease. It again shows the different functions, or sorry, different characteristics, and that characteristics of Siemens disease are generally it shows characters like sparse hairs. Then next one, that is the hypersecretion. That hypersecretion in children shows gigantism or gigantism, and in adult it shows acromegaly, that means bending posture or gorilla like appearance. Then thyroid stimulating hormone, or it is known as TSH. It stimulates growth of thyroid gland, also synthesis and secretion of thyroxine. It increases intake of iodine or iodine intake, and indirectly metabolism stimulating hormone. Then next hormone is adrenocorticotropic hormone. That adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates adrenal cortex to produce and secretes glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. These hormones maintains functioning of adrenal cortex. Then next hormone is prolactin, or it is also known as luteotrophic hormone, or it is also known as lactogenic hormone. That hormone is important for, or that hormone stimulates growth of mammary glands and regulates and stimulates secretion of milk by mammary glands after childbirth. It maintains corpus luteum and it reduces chances of pregnancy during lactation. Next hormone is gonadotropin, and it secretes a number of hormones such as follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. It shows different roles in female growth of the ovarian follicle. It also stimulates the process of oogenesis, and it also stimulates the follicular cells to secrete estrogen hormone. And it in males it stimulates seminiferous tubules for the process of spermatogenesis and production of sperms. Then next hormone is gonadotropin hormone, is luteinizing hormone, that is LH. In female it shows ovulation, or it is responsible for the ovulation, formation of corpus luteum and secretion of the hormone progesterone, which maintains the pregnancy. That is important. Next hormone is interstitial cell stimulating hormone, that is ICSH. In male, it stimulates the interstitial cells or Leydig cells to secrete androgen or testosterone, that is the male sex hormone. Then next point, that is the hormones of neurohypophysis. There are two hormones secreted by the neurohypophysis. First one is the oxytocin and another one is the vasopressin. Oxytocin is also known as pitocin. It is stimulates the contraction of uterine wall, uterine muscles during the childbirth. Therefore, it is called as the birth hormone. It stimulates the contraction of mammary glands and ejection of milk during the breastfeeding. Therefore, it is also called as milk ejecting hormone, and it helps in fertilization. Another hormone secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary, that is the antidiuretic hormone. It stimulates reabsorption of water from distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct of uriniferous tubules of kidney. It decreases loss of water by reducing the urine quantity. It increases blood pressure by causing vasoconstriction. Therefore, it is also known as vasopressin. Deficiency of antidiuretic hormone causes diabetes insipidus or polyuria, or also diuresis, and it increases thirst called polydipsia. Thank you.